higher levels of personal growth. I'm talking about better family relationships. Everything is possible as a result of the new skill set that comes along. But when the moment comes that you believe that this industry and the skills that one develops, the activities that one is involved in, that Agile specifically within the industry, when you believe, like I believe, that you are giving someone a great gift, then there's no such thing as a phone call that is scary. And so I believe in developing a positive cascade of events that lead you to increasing ease in making those contacts that before may have seemed not only difficult but perhaps even impossible. Identify a candidate list. I would like that candidate list to, at the outset, include 40 people. Just 40. And I'm going to ask that maybe now, as we get through this little section, maybe you pause this and create the 40 right now. Certainly within the next 24 hours, I want you to identify a list of 40. Let me give you some guidance on how I want that 40 to look. The first thing that I would like is I would like that 40 to include those 8 people who will jump off a cliff with you. They'll just jump off a cliff. It doesn't matter what the message is. It's because you are the messenger that they are acting positively. Because these are they that I'll have you call very first. These are they on which you'll use those first scripts. This is where you'll begin to develop the positive cascade. The next thing that I want you to do is out of that 40, I would like you to have a group of those 40 who are very, very much like you. These are people who are in your peer group. For example, if you are a school teacher, then I would like for you to have 22 or so of those people who are likewise school teachers. They're your natural peer group. They're easy. This is easy stuff for you, okay? So I want 8 of them to be people who will jump off a cliff with you. I want 22 of them to be people who are your natural peer group. Obviously, I want the other 10 to be people who are not your natural peer group. And here and we have another whole session where I talk about just the creation of, the extension of, and the long-term maintenance of this candidate base. You know, one of the things that has been interesting, I've been full-time in this industry for 16 years. And I'll have people who've been at it for 16 days say, gosh, Randy, I've run out of people to call. And now they want to go out and place classified ads. They want to do internet advertising. They want to do lead generation because in 16 days they've run out of somebody to call. You know, here I am, I'm 16 years into this business, and I've never run out of somebody to call. And so there's something to not just the creation of a list, but the creation, the maintenance, and the expansion, the living of a lifestyle that creates an ever-expanding sphere of influence to whom we can introduce this business. That's another topic for discussion. Right now we're talking about 40. The first 8 people will jump off a cliff with you. The next 22 people that are very, very much like you, your peer set. And then 5 on one side of the spectrum that are very unlike you. What I mean by very unlike you, let's say that you are a tradesperson. I want you to have 5 people on your list who are professionals. Let's say that you are a professional. I want you to have 5 people on your list who are tradespeople. Okay? That's this initial candidate list of 40 people. And again, another whole section on the continuing development of this candidate list and where we go from here, but that's the starting point. Now, the reason for 40 is because I'm going to ask that you join me in this simple principle. It's what I call a major blast. What's a major blast? I want you to imagine for a moment that you've got a funnel. And that funnel is dry. You know, a funnel. You've run out of gas. You're going to put some gas into your car, right? Funnel. And that funnel is dry and it's empty and it's pretty big. It's about this size. Now, imagine that you took a 5-gallon can of gas and dumped it into the top of the funnel. There would be a very, very short lag between when you dumped the can into the top and something came out of the bottom, right? Like in a flash, bang, there it is. Sometimes that's the way that it is in our business. We introduce someone to this concept and bang, they see it, they embrace it, they run with it, just like that. Sometimes that happens. When that occurs, then I want you to be careful. Don't pat yourself on the back too hard and say, wow, I did everything just exactly right. No, in all likelihood what occurred is you encountered someone whose personal timing was exactly correct. See, the one thing that I want you to really come to understand is this. When someone joins us and acts on the business, not just joins us, there will be those who join you just because you're you, and that's fine. When they join us and act upon the business with real energy, it is not because of anything that you did so very right. In all likelihood, it's because you simply got enough people to see the opportunity that we stumbled upon that individual whose personal timing was correct. You could have done everything about as poorly as possible, and they would still have acted upon it. A whole lot of my message is simply about the number of exposures. It's about the number of exposures. Now, obviously, the higher and more tightly refined our skills become, then the more efficient we are. But as we're gaining efficiency, this, for me, is about numbers of exposures. Numbers of exposures. Let people see the opportunity. Let them see it, let them see it, let them see it. Well, a major blast has this simple idea. If we dump a can of gas into the top of the funnel, something comes out immediately. That's because we found an individual whose personal timing was correct. Far more frequently, however, I want your visualization to be that you've got this funnel, and now you're taking a honey bottle, and you just drizzle a little bit of honey up here into the top of the funnel. Well, if you drizzle a little bit of honey About 10 seconds worth. A little bit of honey up here. And then you stop. When will something come out of the bottom of this funnel? The answer is never. It'll get stuck up here on the side of the funnel. What if you drizzle a little bit of honey on the top of the funnel today, and you do nothing for 5 or 6 weeks, and you drizzle a little bit over here? And you don't do anything for 3 or 4 weeks, and you drizzle a little bit over here. When will something come out of the bottom of the funnel? The answer is never. Pretty soon the funnel will become a big sticky mess, but nothing will ever come out of the bottom. That is the way that so many people interact in this business. It doesn't work. A major blast. A major blast means what? A major blast means putting 40 people, 40 candidates into the top of the funnel in a 7-day period. You say yes, you put 40 people into the top of the funnel. That is coating the entire wall of the funnel with honey. When that entire wall of the funnel is coated with honey, now by definition, if you put one more drip into the top, something will come out of the bottom. And the reason this business has been so easy for me for so many years, literally it is my opportunity, if I choose to recruit at will. I can recruit at will. Why? Because I have a funnel that is coated with honey. It's because my lifestyle has become one where I'm constantly expanding a candidate list, and I'm constantly, through the tools that I'll describe to you, introducing those candidates to the process. I get the choice to choose. It is my choice today whether I choose to personally enroll someone in this business. Is that what you'd like? If you want it literally to be a daily decision that you make, it is your choice to enroll someone today or not. That becomes a function of keeping that funnel coated with honey, such that by definition, if you put one more drop in the top, the major blast is designed to immediately get the whole funnel coated with honey, to start that process. That's 40 candidates immediately. So we identify those 40 candidates. You've already done that. You identify the 40 candidates. Having done that, the next thing that one must do is make a determination of what will be the preliminary information device. Now here I want to get in front of one of the greatest mistakes, one of the biggest errors that we have in our business. It's when a person misunderstands his or her role. When a person joins the company and they fall into the trap of believing that his or her role is to be a primary information provider, to answer questions, to overcome objections. One thing that I learned so very long ago, every single thing that we do in this business is teaching someone else what they must do. For instance, if I pick up the phone and I call Peter, and I say, and Peter's my film guy here, by the way. If I call Peter and I say, hey, Peter, I've got some information for you, and I spend the next 40 minutes talking to Peter about this business, two things just occurred. The first thing that occurred was I taught Peter that there's no way he has time to do this business because every single introduction is going to be 40 minutes long. The second thing I taught him is there's no way he could do this business because he has to have all of this knowledge that I have. What if, on the other hand, I choose to incorporate into my entire business thesis, my whole business idea is this, that whenever it is possible, I will allow a tool to talk instead of me talking. I will be not a primary information provider. I will not be specifically and directly answering questions or overcoming objections. I will instead be a conduit to a system. That is what you must join me in that idea. Your role, my role, is to be a conduit to a system. Now, if I call Peter and I say, Peter, what are you doing today at 2 o'clock? And Peter says, I'm not sure, Peter. I'm just going to stop by the office, if that's okay, and I'm going to stick in your hands the following. And maybe it's this very DVD. It wouldn't be this one because it's not an introductory piece. Maybe it is the Magalog. Maybe it is a CD. And we'll describe the various methods of information delivery and what their values and their strengths are. But now I call Peter and I say, hey, Peter, I've got something I want to stick into your hands. Now what did I just teach him? Now I taught him that every phone call was a matter of seconds. I taught him that he need not have all of that knowledge. He need only know what is the system, what is the tool, and he can then be a conduit to that information. Well, the point is that we must now determine what is our preliminary information device. I've identified a list of 40 candidates. Okay?